We have two things before we start the questions and answers. Part number one, I'm going to do a small presentations on the history of information gathering. Nothing too special, but just cool to see how it goes, how the information flows. We also have Eric here. Eric is one of our developers. He's in charge of the widgets department, and he also will give us a small demo of widgets. So let's begin. So first of all, regarding the history of information, and some of it you will see that some people are also stuck here. So it started with salespeople talking to other prospects and remembering what the prospects told them. And of course, it's pure shit because it doesn't work. It's not scalable. You cannot report on it. You cannot do anything with the data. If few days are over, you forget totally about the person. And there are still people that actually do it. And on the right bottom, you have here the graph of relatively what will be the closing rate for those people. And the lost area will be this pinkish, while the one will be the purplish. The next evolution was taking notes. It might be on paper, might be on a Word document, might be in some form. And of course, it's a little bit better. Another problem, you cannot make use of this data. You can only search for it, but it's not really a business. So still better conversions, but still it's not there yet. The next evolution was the sheets, all those Excel and Google Sheets and so on. You're able to store the information in a better way. You're able to report on it, but still you cannot connect specific notes to a specific person. There is no way to create one area that you know everything about your client, no reminders and so on. So still, it's not great. The next point was the CRM systems. The CRM was a nicer version of the sheets. So you have a way to retain information. You can click on some kind of a client. You can see more information about him. You can you can ask questions and collect the information, but there is no structure. There is no way to bring a new employee to the business and tell him, this is the system, click on the buttons, and the magic will be done for you. So there is no brain behind it. And this is probably 99% of the CRMs out there, including Zoho. Most of the developers that worked with our clients before they came to us as clients, most of them are saying that the developers that they met said that blueprints not supposed to be used because it's better to use workflows. Now, if you know a little bit about automation, a workflow cannot be compared to a blueprint because a blueprint is a structure and the automation takes place when you click on buttons. While the workflow, it's automation that's being run in the background and there is no structure around it. So those people obviously are full of shit because they don't understand the system or understand how the business works. But anyway, so that was the next part. It was a CRM, and most companies right now works on a CRM, which it's missing this one thing, and that's the blueprint. If you ask me as someone that is doing systems for probably 25 years, blueprint is the game changer. All the rest in the CRM, the automations, it's cool and it's nice, but the blueprint allows me to create structure. It allows me to create set of buttons. Instead of my employee looking at the screen with million things, whenever there is a new call, there are only 3 options. He needs to select if to answer, if he tried to answer and there was a missed call, or it's a junk lead. Or if it's in the process or the deal, I can also structure it in a way that my employee is limited to specific options. And when he clicks on the button, the Zoho system or any other CRM, it doesn't matter, the system tells him what to do. So he can invest his processing power into the conversation instead of thinking where to click. And that's probably the game changer. So it was just important for me to go over the history of information gathering. And it's sad that people still stuck on the old days. Mr. Rico, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and you?
Very good. Just so everybody will know, Rico is one of our developers. He started with us about a year ago or so. He used to be a Salesforce developer. And since then, we did one video on YouTube, on my channel, Zoho versus Salesforce. And after this session, I recruited him and I stole him from Salesforce. And since then, he's with us. And in this 1 year, he was one of our top 2 developers, and he's going to enjoy a 5-star luxury hotel in Mexico next month because he's so great.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much for the introduction.
Okay, my friend. So you probably want to share your screen, right?
Yeah, I just need permissions to do it. All right, let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see you. And what we're trying to do now, we try to demonstrate what is a widget and why a widget is so cool.
Yeah, exactly. So I will go to any lead. All right. And basically, Leo and I were talking about introducing widgets to these specific systems. So basically, what we are trying to do is have a form or a Zoho form that is going to be displayed in the same page as we are right now instead of going to 2 different tabs. So
just one thing to add to it. There are lots of businesses that we work with that the first step is to receive the information of the lead. For example, first name, last name, phone number, and email. And you don't want to ask for too much information because the lead will not provide you more information and therefore it will not submit the lead. So it's common that when the lead comes into the system, the person that will call the lead will need to ask lots of questions. And some of those questions might be from a Zoho Form, might be from a third-party application. So you need to integrate into Zoho different applications that you're using. And this is where the problem begins. So Eric created an integration using a widget integration to a Zoho Form, which is a relatively easy thing to do, but it's just showing the capabilities of how a widget can help you with your day-to-day business. Please proceed, Eric.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So instead of going to Zoho Forms and then going and access the form, we can go directly here and click on this button that we created that is going to display a widget. So as you can see here, it displayed this small page, which is basically the Zoho form we were talking about, and we'll have many different fields. So the first thing is that we are able to inject data to the widget. So we are getting, for example, the name of this lead and the email. So this is coming from this record. So let's say that we are going to work with a third-party app, then we can get data while the widget is loading and send data to that specific app.
Eric, can you also, when this widget kicks in, can you send API to a different system and retrieve information and then show it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So those are the advantages of the widget, that we can connect with every app that has an open API. We can use it, no problem.
And just so you know about the use cases, we had clients that we did for them booking systems using the widget on custom applications. We had Google Maps, for example. The manager wants to see where all these technicians across across different areas. He clicks on it, he sees a map with pins on it. Lots of usages for the widget. Lots of cool stuff can be done from here.
Yeah, exactly. And also custom, like the design can be custom and it can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start filling some information in. I would say that the street is, I don't know, Rome.
Yeah, just type some gibberish on it so it won't kill the entire session on the form.
So test and test state. And let's say it's Canada. Zip code. We can fill some of these drop downs.
Now, those can be used to qualify your lead. And you can also have a complicated form with some logic. If, for example, it's corporate, it will ask different questions, and if it's individual and so on.
Yeah.
Let's just click on submit. It's enough.
Okay, perfect. So I will click on submit. And as you can see, the form has been submitted. So I can go ahead and close this widget. And from this moment, it's just waiting for the integration between Zoho Forms and CRM.
It takes about 30 seconds for Zoho Forms to push the information.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Very good.
And here it is.
Very good. Awesome. Enrico, thank you very much. You're awesome. If you want to stay on the session and maybe people will have questions about widgets, I will appreciate it. If you're busy, it's all good.
I will stay here, no problem.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right, I will give you control now.
Yeah, okay. So Chris, your mic is open. I see that you have many questions.
Good morning,
Let's start. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Awesome, thank you.
I got a few questions on the go. So the first one has to do with fillable forms in Writer. So we'll often send mood boards to our clients, and we'll dynamically place in the images of these mood boards for websites or other graphic design materials.
Which forms? I couldn't hear it. Which forms?
Pardon me, fillable forms through Writer.
Fillable forms, okay.
So the issue we're running into is it's showing as a single line in Writer itself. And when the clients are giving their feedback, it looks like that there's no more content being added. In reality, it all is, but it's being cut off. Is there any way to change that, to change the height? So, or transition that from a single line to a text box?
And when you try it from your end, is that working or is that also happening to you?
It's also happening on our end as well.
I got it. So I would say that one cause of this problem might be that the form that you are trying to fill in might have a limitation on how many characters.
Yeah, it's like a single line. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have, like, for example, 120 characters and you try to enter a lot of text, that's why it might get truncated. Yep.
Agreed. When we try to extend that, so let's say 500 characters, then it'll extend the line beyond the page. So instead of turning it into a text box, you'll see the single line just go right off of the screen itself.
Got it. Yeah. I would say that that's like the main symptom, is, if we can call it like that, that there is some kind of limitation on how many characters you can enter, and that the form, the way it's trying to handle it, is just like overflowing the text field.
Okay. Could either of you make a recommendation for a better way of doing this? Because
we usually receive the information using Zoho Form. Actually, the same way that we present it here, instead of a widget, it will be using a Zoho Form. We use multi-line when we like to get lots of information. We store it in the CRM, and in the CRM, we have, if it's a multi-line in Zoho Form, it will be also a multi-line in Zoho CRM. And then we populate the document based on this information. It works perfectly. We never saw a problem with it.
Would I need to create a new form for every client then?
No, it's one form for all the clients.
Okay. Okay, I'll have to work that out then, just because the content will be dynamic. It'll change for every client.
Of course.
So I'll figure that part out then. Thank you.
But it's one form for everyone.
It's the same form, but the contents of the form would be different for
That's
every
right.
client.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, but that's the way we work with it for years. It's fine. Never had a problem.
Okay.
Any other questions,
for
Chris?
that.
I saw that you had few of them.
Yeah, so the next one, and maybe this kind of expands on the widget components that was just shown. Whenever we put in the client's website, we wanted to know if there was a dynamic way to automatically show the website host, the email host, and the registrar of that. I know there are APIs available that can do that, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to make that dynamically show.
We had an integration a year ago that whenever there was a new contact in the CRM, we pulled this picture, we pulled the domain name, we pulled the next registration date. It was for a web design company. So there is a way to do it. It's not using a widget, it's using a workflow. So whenever there is a creation, I'm just grabbing the person email address, I'm getting the domain name from the email address, running it using API, bring back the information and pre-fill information in the contact form.
Okay, is that something I could pay you to get that workflow?
Yeah, we can do it as well. Yeah.
Okay, or I'm happy to pay for the logic. So
no problem. Just contact us. If it's amazingbusinessresults.com. So just contact us. We'll take care of you.
Perfect. Thank you,
Okay. Lee. No problem. Okay. So next question is Danielle. Let me open your mic, Danielle. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. I finished your Zoho Forms training.
Was it good?
Yeah, I come as a representative of the Project Management Institute DC chapter. And so we're rolling out Zoho CRM. Yeah, we want to go live CY of 21, and we're all new to this. So the first question I think I know the answer to, I am the requirements manager for the programs work stream. And so we have an event creation form, and we want to push the information collected on that form to Trello to create a Trello card, to Zoom webinars and meetings, and also back to the CRM. And then we're going to
let's do it slowly. 1 second.
Okay. One thing
we have the form. It's supposed to update Trello.
Yep.
Supposed to update what else?
Zoom, like automatically create the event in Zoom.
Create an event in Zoom. Okay. Next.
And then push that information back to this Zoho CRM.
Good. So let's grab my best friend, Dryo. Okay. So we have here the form. And the form, first of all, we need to send the information to CRM. From CRM, we need to have a Zapier integration. Because only Zapier right now can Zoho Flow. Eric, can you check if Zoho Flow has integration with Zoom? I didn't see any of that, but just check 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Zapier integration will create a Zoom event. And you had one more level, and that was Trello, right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. In Trello, it's you have a board and you have one more thing, a card.
A card, yep.
What it's supposed to create, a card or
a card, yep.
A card, okay.
Yep.
Good. So this is the process. Do you know how to integrate Zoho Form with Zoho CRM?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So that will be integration number one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you know what is Zapier?
I know Zapier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In Zapier, you have one is the trigger, what will start the process. And in this case, the trigger will be a new or Zoho Form submission or a new Zoho CRM record creation with the criteria of the form. I think the easiest for you stay with a new form is initiating. Let's drag it here like that. The form is integrated with Zoho CRM, and the form is also the trigger for the Zapier integration.
Okay.
Until here, we're good?
That makes sense.
Okay.
I'm sure. Yep. We'll create the Zap. Okay.
Okay.
The form.
Once you have the Zap,
the
Zap can have multiple applications, one after the other. So the first application will be the Zoom. Once it's finishing creating the Zoom, it will create the Trello. So that will look actually something more like that.
Yes.
Easy.
Okay. Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, it's just the architecture sometimes might be confusing because there are too many moving parts. So that's probably the solution.
Okay, awesome. Can the Zoho CRM field be used on a public-facing website? I don't think so. So users can look up their contact.
You can.
Oh, okay.
You can do anything that you want with Zoho CRM. The way to do it, it's to use an API, and you will need a developer to do it. And the developer can grab specific details from anything in your CRM and push it to a web platform. It might be password protected or public, but you can make use of any type of information from any Zoho application on any website or any page or use.
Okay.
No problem.
I am liking this more and more. I was already in love with Zoho, but yeah.
It's awesome. It's so flexible and easy. It's awesome.
Yes.
Not all the applications, some of them.
Okay. The last thing that might be a pain point for us is the speaker database. We want to migrate that information over, and we're trying to figure out how to integrate. Okay, so where would you suggest? I was watching the Zoom, and there were leads and there were contacts. So on our Zoho form for the event creation, we want to say, do you have speakers? There are some corner cases where there may be multiple speakers and they may not be in the CRM. So we'll have to create those records, and we're going to have bios and headshots, and we want to link those with the form. What would be the best way to do that?
So what are you trying to do? To create a public website of the event?
Yes.
Okay. You have few options. Option number one is an existing system that Zoho created named Backstage. It's a nice system. Takes a little bit time to learn it, but even if you create your own, it will still take time. What do you want from me? Good. Okay. So I don't want a tour. So in this system, you create an event, and whenever you're done to create the event, you will have a nice looking website, a website for each event, and people can buy tickets for free or paid. They can see the the speakers, agenda, everything will be here for you.
Okay.
So it's a one-stop shop for events. If you want to have something fancier, you can have the information in Zoho CRM. So we can create, or you can create a module for the event, assign speakers to it, everything using the CRM module. And this module will be integrated with a website that will be just for this purpose. And the website can include all the information from your CRM. Let me show you something. Badass Lucas. Yeah, this is the website. So this website, for example, Badass Lucas, it's a full website that all the information is coming from Zoho CRM. Zoho CRM and Zoho WorkDrive. So all the visuals, the pictures and so on coming from WorkDrive, and the data coming from Zoho CRM. And it's a big website.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what we do here.
Nice.
Okay. So there is a way to do all those crazy things with Zoho, no problem at all.
Awesome. Lee, you reminded me of one of our use cases. So we're going to have members. All events are free for members, but we're going to charge for non-members. How would you suggest we go about that? The backstage? Because I guess their member status, because they'll have a PMI ID, would come from the CRM so that we could validate, their membership status and see whether or not the event is free.
Memberships is a bit scary for me.
Okay.
The reason is that with memberships, there are renewals. Sometimes the renewals fail. Much more involved in memberships. I prefer probably to buy a third-party membership application that's already doing all the beautiful things that membership applications needs to do, or create something custom on a web.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Zoho doesn't have the tools to run memberships unless you put lots of programming into it, which will cost you X amount of money, but you can take the same X amount of money and have a nice web system for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if Zoho is the best system to run membership systems.
Okay. Nope, that helps. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
No problem. That's it?
That's it for now. I'll probably be back
Awesome.
next week.
Very good. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Mr. Robert. I didn't talk to you for a long time. Robert, your mic is open.
Hey, hi, Lear.
Mr. Robert, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you doing?
Awesome. All great.
And hi to Eric, if he's still there. Yeah, so we recently we migrated our emails from Outlook or from Microsoft Exchange to Zoho. I'm slowly getting to know it, and there's some new questions that are popping up. Question for now. First question is, we are still in the process of migrating from to 3 different applications into Zoho environment, Zoho One environment. So we're doing it step by step, slowly. So questions come up. Now, right now we're trying to decide. We are using QuickBooks still, and it's a desktop version. It resides on a server that users log into or RDP into. We are planning on adding email into QuickBooks so that we can send out invoices. Directly. Yes, maybe Eric mentioned that to you. I briefly talked to him about that. So we are trying to decide whether we should use. We have two accounts with Zoho One, so they come with 2 different emails.
Yes.
Now, should we use one of these existing accounts that we have, email accounts, and put that with QuickBooks for sending out invoices, or should we create one brand new standalone email account that it's used with QuickBooks for sending out invoices only. But that whichever scenario we decide on, the two existing users must have access to follow, either share that email or follow the traffic on it.
Yeah. So let's say that you like to have, let's say, receivables at domainname.com. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Good. And you have here, you have two users.
Yes.
And user B is supposed to access them, right?
Correct. Correct.
Good.
Now, I also want to add that one of the users is myself, so I'm the administrator and the main user. I'm full-time, okay? The user B, as you called it, is only a part-time person in the office, okay?
No problem.
Yeah, okay.
You have two options with this approach. Option number one is to receive your emails in Zoho Desk, and then both of you can receive it because it's just tickets. And if one of you pick it up, the other will not need to deal with it anymore.
Okay.
This is number one, option number one. I will just write here, Zoho Desk.
So this is assuming we're adding a standalone email.
You don't need to add a standalone email because then you need to spend more money on
Subscription.
Exactly. I don't want you to spend more money because you don't really need it.
So you're leaning towards the opinion that we could use one of the existing accounts.
Yes. So if, for example, this one will be user A at domainname.com, you can create another alias, which is available for you as part of your subscription with Zoho Mail. And that can be, for example, receivables.
Okay.
Okay, so you can have here as many aliases that you want.
Okay.
Anyway, it doesn't work for me. Anyway, so you can have here an alias. So you will have the user A will be the user, but receivables will also be received here. And all those emails will go to Zoho Desk.
Okay, so in this scenario, sorry, jump in. In this scenario, when we send out an invoice to the client,
yes,
is it gonna say that it's coming from receivables at domain, or
yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking it might just create another, confusion. When I deal with companies that have multiple emails for different departments and so on, we are a small company, so if we add another email and somebody responds to this one, and it's gonna come from us, from the same people, really. So
I think you're absolutely correct. I would keep the two users. One of them will be the one who is sending the invoices. And if you still want to go this route, the other option, so one is Zoho Desk, the other one is no Zoho Desk. You create this email, and Eric can do it for you. It will take a second. You create it as a group email.
Oh, okay.
And the group email have both of them. So both of those users will receive emails that's coming from this address. Okay.
Okay.
So if receivables is receiving an email, user A and user B receiving a copy of it. I don't like this approach so much because it's overloading the system. People get too many emails. So the previous approach with Zoho Desk, this is what we use internally. Emails goes to Zoho Desk, someone picks up a ticket, the other people will not see it anymore.
So in other words, when it goes to the Zoho Desk, the scenario you're leading towards, it would be just one email for the whole company. And if we want to send invoice, we send an invoice. It goes out from, say, office at domain, And
Sure.
if client replies, which is an email, one of the emails that clients already know, most clients know that email. And then when reply comes back, it would go to desk, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It will go to the email and also to the desk. But in my company, no one is using emails. We just use Zoho Desk.
Really? Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question, because we noticed there is a lot of apps that tie into are part of Zoho One, and some of them have overlapping functionalities.
Yes.
Trying to decide what to use for what.
Yes.
And so that's a tough one. I do like the Zoho Mail app. I do like it. I haven't tried Desk, but it was mentioned to me by Eric when we talked about this issue. So I might explore that. So you say your whole organization, all the email goes to Desk, and it's just picked up by the appropriate user, and it's tracked through in one place, right? In one app.
Yes. I will tell you, for example, and some of the listeners are part of big organizations, and I will tell you why for us Zoho Desk is great.
Yes.
We're receiving about probably 100 emails an hour, maybe more, maybe 150 emails per hour.
Okay. Wow.
Before that, we used to check our emails 3 times a day. So before you start your working day, noontime and evening. When you open the mailbox, you don't want to look at it anymore. It's just hundreds of emails, and it's crazy. So we brought admin assistants that all their work is going over the emails with specific instructions. Now, after we finalize the knowledge base and the training of how to deal with tickets, I'm getting about 4 or 5 tickets a day. That's it. The rest of them is crap that I don't need to deal with. We signed the agreement. When is the first meeting? What is your hourly rate? Do you have support packages? And so on and so on. It's not stuff that I need to answer, because this is common knowledge that anyone can use. I need to take the ones that the assistants were not able to do, the admin, developers don't have the answer. So I need to have only the difficult ones, or the ones that are my clients that I serve personally. Okay. But the rest, I don't need it. Same for developers. I need to book another appointment. The developer don't need to deal with it. The assistant need to book the appointment for him. So eventually everyone is working and doing his own thing and being productive, while the tickets and emails and all this crap being managed by admins.
Right. Well, we don't have such a complex structure. As I mentioned, it's 2 people in the office and the rest is stats. So we handle all that. And I'm the full-time, and the other person is my assistant, and she's only, is only part-time. So for only a few hours a day, my assistant's email is being monitored. So we're trying now to decide, should we add that email to our Zoho Mail, to my Zoho Mail account for monitoring, or should I just move both to desktop? Now it looks like the Zoho Desk would be a better option for this and for.
I think so. Because then you can, even when you go to vacation, someone can take over your tickets, right?
Right. Yeah, good point.
It's just more scalable option.
Okay. And is it? I haven't looked thoroughly into it. So, do you think we should reach out to you for helping us set up, or we should?
Very simple to set up. Eric can do it in like 2 hours. It's a very simple application.
All right. By the way, if Eric is listening, if you can please reply to my email.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Did you get my emails?
Yeah, so basically when we moved from Outlook,
but not now. It's a public session, guys.
Okay, no problem.
Just call Robert after the session.
We'll connect after.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure he got my email.
No problem.
It's great working with Eric, by the way.
Thank
He's
you very
awesome.
much.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Stephen, let me open your mic. We have also a few more questions, so we'll try to reach everyone today. Stephen, your mic is open.
Hi, good afternoon here. My time, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Stephen. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. And how are you doing?
Awesome. Where are you from, Stephen?
South Africa.
Awesome. So it's nighttime.
Well, it's afternoon. It's before 5 o'clock, so we're going into nighttime in a couple of hours, yeah.
Not that bad. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, no, great. Yeah, my question is with regards to, I want to send out a campaign, but these are people who I've been dealing with in the past. So it is basically the same forms, but the information which those forms are going to contain, it's unique to that specific client. So,
wait, you're talking about Zoho campaigns?
Not really Zoho campaigns, because I'm not sure if I mean, I'm looking for an idea of what will be the best way to deal with it, yeah.
Okay, so how many users are you, how many prospects or contacts you're going to send emails to?
That will be about between 50 and 60.
Done. Zoho CRM is the place.
Okay.
And so, you must, just check one thing, Stephen, must, what I'm showing you now, it's a must, not optional. You see, you go to settings.
Yeah.
You go under channels, you go to email. Here, you should have in the email configuration, you should have your email configured.
Okay.
Very simple to do. On my channel, there are 1,000 videos that show you how to do it.
Yeah, I bought your CRM course, so
awesome. Lesson number 3. Perfect.
Yeah.
Lesson number 3. And also the email deliverability must be configured.
Okay.
It's a must. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't know how to do that, I found the easiest way. If, for example, you're with GoDaddy, you just, let's say that this is the email info@chihuahua.com, whatever. Good. So this part, it's easy. You're getting a code to your email. Simple. Everybody do, by the way, the first step.
Okay.
Second step, it's more difficult. Call GoDaddy or any other company that hosts your domain and just say, I need to do it. I don't know how to do it. I will appreciate if you can help me. And
I'll do that, yeah.
99% of the time they say yes. And in the 1% that they say no, you say, no problem. I will move to a different company that will help me. And then they say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the two things that you need to do. And now let's go to your requirements. Okay, so you need to send 50 to 60 emails. CRM will be awesome for it. You will get better deliverability. So that's the tool that we're going to use. What else?
Okay, so these there are specific forms which I have to attach some 1 or 2 Word documents and a couple of PDF documents. So those those forms specifically, will I have to upload that onto Work Drive and send it from there? Because I'm just concerned about the space in the CRM. It might take up some of the space at the end of the day.
Is those documents and PDF are the same for all the 50 contacts?
Yeah, but you see,
awesome.
some of the information I want to populate so that when they receive it, they don't have to do that much admin work. So I want to populate some of the information because I do have it. So the information will be unique to every different person, yeah.
The information unique, and that needs to be, I assume, on the fly, right? So when you're sending it, the Word document will be populated and it will pull information from the CRM, from the record.
Well, no.
No?
Some of the information, I will capture it myself, yeah. Because I do have previous records of my clients, so I will just take some of the information and populate it and complete it on the form, yeah. Type it out.
Check it out, my friend.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do.
All right.
Okay. you go to the settings, and that's step number 1. You go to the modules and fields. You go to the modules. So I assume you're going to do it from the contacts, right?
Yeah.
And we're going inside. I am loading. Okay, that will be my files. Because you said also something very smart, that you don't want to have too much information in your CRM, and then you start paying money to Zoho, and no one needs to do it. So you're going to have here a URL, and that will be the work drive folder. Good?
Yes.
Step number 2, you go to workdrive.zoho.com.
Okay.
And that will be, this recording will be on YouTube. So if you're missing some information.
All right.
You create a new folder name. Let's make it consistent. Let's make it contacts. And in the contacts, you will have, for each customer, you will have its own folder. So if I am going now to Jennifer, I will create it also with the company name. I'm creating here a new folder for Jennifer. And here I will load all the different files related to Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one more thing that you can do here, and that's what you need on the other side. You can click here on share, and you can create an external share.
Okay.
Okay. The external share will be for Jennifer, and she can only download the information. She cannot upload stuff, just download.
All right.
And now you're getting a link, you see? I'm copying this link, and I will put it in this new work drive folder link that we created.
Okay.
Until here, we're good?
Yes.
The last part that you need to do, you go to the email templates. You create a new template. Whatever email name that you want to give it.
Yes.
Okay, you will have a subject, and you have some information here. Okay, so you will have some info, and then you will have one more thing. You will have click here to get the files. Okay.
Yes.
And that will be this field. Folder, yeah.
Okay.
So look, so the way that I do it, I grab this variable. Okay, I clicked on the number sign and I grab this variable. Then you select this area that you want to link. You click on the link, and then you paste this variable here.
All right.
And now it's creating a dynamic link for each client, so you can use one batch of emails, and everybody will enjoy different type of content in this folder.
Yes, precisely. Yeah. No, thank you very much.
Is it solving the problem?
Yes, yes.
Very good. And just so you know, later on, when you progress a little bit in Zoho, all that can be fully automated. The creation of the different files in the work drive, creating the work drive folders, sending the emails. Just start slowly, but just know that all that can be automated.
Okay, now thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Boy is asking, what's better, team inbox or desk? Team Inbox, I don't really use it because Team Inbox, it's more like a group email. And I prefer to have, if we're going to an application to manage emails, I prefer Zoho Desk. One thing that I learned with Zoho Desk, and I created a video about it. And we had a problem with it for some time. Come on, I don't want to do any of that. Just let me see the application. Next, sure. So one thing that we had a problem, and we created also a video about it, was that Zoho Desk is out of the box coming with a spam filter, which is crap. And this spam filter grabbed tons of our emails, about a few percentage of our emails. And we are in a serious business of handling serious requests. Each email is significant. So eventually we just turned it off and life was good. So just know when you install Zoho Desk, turn it off. Okay. Mr. Basil is asking if you can do a wildcard email, which means, so let's say it's amazing business result is the email. So whatever people put before the @ that will be received. I don't know it's anything. It's spelled. Yeah, I cannot leave it at that. Okay, so if you have anything before the domain, I don't know if Zoho have a wildcard. I assume yes, they have a very good mail system, but I just don't know, Basil, sorry. And I have one last question for Robert. Would you recommend setting up quote approval process in Zoho Desk instead of using stages? I took my quote or the proposal step and the agreement completely out of Zoho because I was looking for more of great looking, awesome proposal. So I'm using a different application for that. With Zoho, I would probably keep the proposal in CRM. So CRM is going to send the proposal. And when the user is finishing with it, it's coming back using Zoho Sign, and using a flow, it's alerting Zoho CRM. So Zoho CRM is the place that I'm managing. I used to manage the proposals, quotes, and also the agreements. Okay, very good. So we're on time. I answered everyone. Yeah, I'm happy. Very good. Guys, thank you very much for being with me today. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.